they took control of the Republican Party. It was slow, but it happened. And it became to the point where you couldn't really stand as a Republican candidate unless you agreed with an anti-abortion position. But at the same time, they also had a legal strategy. And anti-abortion organisations set up their own law schools to award law degrees in the 1980s in order to train lawyers and potential judges and potentially Supreme Court judges to bring cases that they thought would further their cause. Not just on abortion, but on what they call like traditional family values. So that's anti-LGBT rights, anti-gay marriage, anti-sex education in schools. But abortion was the cause that sort of like spearheaded this initiative. And they got there. So I don't suppose any of you will be surprised to know that the latest Supreme Court judge, Amy Coney Barrett, is associated with that move. And that's how we got here. It was a long strategy. Now that particular route to overturning rights by capturing a political party, capturing an education system and capturing a legal system wouldn't work exactly the same here. But that doesn't mean they haven't been trying. So one of the things that happens is that there is novel legislation and they try it at one state, if it fails they move on to another, and if it fails they move on to another. And some of those bills come over here, but have failed in Parliament. And some of the moves that the anti-abortion politicians in our Parliament made and then tried out in the States. It is a global movement and it's not in one way. I think that's really important to know, that it's not all way. And in fact, a report that came out last year showed that in Europe, there was actually more European money in anti-abortion money than there was American money. And there was also a lot of Russian money. Well, hopefully, the Russian money would have dried up. But, so regardless of what happens in the US, our rights to abortion here have never been secure. I mean, I'm quite old now, and I have spent my entire adult life defending and trying to extend the 1967 Abortion Act. And this fight is never going away. And we have to defend it from multiple attacks in multiple ways. And everyone here can play their part, but they can only, and there's multiple ways that we're going to do it. So I'm going to talk about 4 ways that I'm going to ask you all today to help win this battle, okay? And the first one, and I'm sure you're all with me on this, is to be vocal, right? To be vocal! We support abortion! Woo! To do it here today, but do it all the time. Do it on social media, have those conversations with your colleagues. As has been said, we're a pro-choice country, but abortion is still heavily stigmatised. It's down in the ashes. It's something we're not supposed to talk about. People think that they support abortion, but their friends and colleagues and families don't. But you know what? Almost everybody in this country supports abortion. And we just need to be out and proud about this all the time. And there is no but, right, in that? There is no but. If you hear someone say, I am pro-choice, but they are not pro-choice, okay? And don't get into a massive battle with them, but just try and show why the but means it needs to go, right? And that is the most important thing you can do, because if we destigmatise abortion, if everybody knows that abortion is healthcare and this is what we have a right and it's our choice, whoever that may be, for whatever reason, then that is one of the most important things you can do. And a counteract to the constant anti-abortion messages and the constant anti-abortion, which seeps into the discourse, the words seep into how we talk about abortion. And that has got to stop today. So that's the rule number 1, be vocal. Are you all with me with that? Yeah. Right. And the second one, again, really easy. Support pro-choice organisations. here. You've got the abortion providers, MSI and BPAS, you've got abortion rights. You know, follow them, amplify them. If you can afford it, donate to them. But if you can't afford it, that's okay. Just amplify the message all the time. Show your support, show why this is important, and show that there is no compromising. Alright? So that's the second message. Right? Support all the time, everywhere. Is that okay? Right, the third message is hard. Right? This is much harder to do. And trust me, it is hard for me as well, but it's really important. So as I mentioned before, the anti-abortion people captured the Republican Party, right? It made abortion into a partisan issue. And this means that when it rolls back to the states that change between being a blue state and a red state, they can see abortion laws rolling backwards and forwards every couple of years. That's not good for anyone, right? Now, in Parliament, abortion is a conscience issue. That means there is not a party whip, there's not a party dictate. So this is the hard one. We need to be non-partisan about abortion. This is not a party political issue, it's a human rights issue. And whoever your MP is, whether it's Labour, whether it's Conservative, whether it's Liberal Democrats, or even there are any Scottish Nationalist Party people in here like today. But support them, even if you don't agree with them on anything else, support them in this. Because the anti-abortion people always show up, they always want their MP, they always fill out letters. We nearly lost telemedicine because 8,000 people from anti-abortion organisations wrote in and a couple of hundred people from pro-choice ones did. And it came that close to losing telemedicine. And we cannot afford that. So be vocal and be non-partisan. Even if you absolutely hate what your MP is doing on every other issue, if they are pro-choice, support them with that. And what's more, show up. It's really easy to fill in a letter on sort of like one of those letters that goes around, write to your MP, put in your postcode, press a button and off it goes. And that is important. But it's much harder for an MP to defend what they're doing if you go and see them in person. So go and see them, explain to them, if they try and brush you off, remind them this is a conscience issue and you have a right to know what they think personally on this. And let them try and defend your position. Now some of them might be antis, but you can still persuade them. So one of my colleagues, she has an anti-abortion MP, and before the telemed vote, there was a backwards and forwards between her and her MP's office on email. And he abstained, right? Now that's a victory, right? That is a victory. So it's hard, but be non-partisan on this. And the fourth one, and again, this is really important and really sad, but we are in this for the long haul. They will never stop. So we can't ever stop, right? This is a battle that everyone will have to do for their entire lives. But the more we are vocal, the more that we show up, the more that we ensure that our politicians know where the country stands, the less fight it will be. And I'll leave it at that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pam. Brilliant. As for the things that Pam says we can do to support, I mean, you're all here, so that's showing up, which is brilliant. Carry on doing that, and when we do the counter demos against the harassing people outside clinics next year, come and join us for that as well. As for the other things, we've actually got a bucket down here for donations, which will all be going to Abortion Funds, which is it's an umbrella organisation which supports grassroots, intersectional abortion organisations in the States. Basically, will help people who need abortions to access them, either with financial support, with practical support, whatever's needed. But that's it, it's an overarching fund that gives the money to all of the member organisations. So if you want to come and stick a couple of quid in that bucket, that's where it's going to be going. I'm hoping someone's going to come and grab it, hopefully, and bring it round as well. So if you see someone shaking a bucket, that's what it's for. The other thing that we can do right now is make some bloody noise. So, my body, my choice, my body, my choice, my body, my choice, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. My choice, my body, my choice. great. We'll do a bit more of that, so that was just like a practice run. I've got something to read out that was sent to me by a woman who lives in one of the more conservative states in the US. She sent me this at the beginning of this week, so this is about how she's feeling right now and what's going on for her. And I think it's really worth hearing because it's sometimes really easy to think of this as something that's happening to anonymous people thousands of miles away, and you know, she's real and she's terrified. So what she says is, she says, "Hello, my name is Rachel, different Rachel. My name is Rachel and I'm an American. Friday the 24th of June was a dark day for our country. We saw a settled law settled for 49 years that protected the rights of people with uteruses stripped away before our eyes. A nation wept tears of grief and anger. That nation is now scared and uncertain. Many do not know what will come in the weeks and months that follow. I do, and I'd like to share that with you now. The Supreme Court is the highest court in our land. Their rulings are meant to set precedent for the rest of the country to outline clearly what is and what is not enforceable on a federal level. That Friday, their message was clear. Abortion rights are not to be protected federally, despite the fact that upwards of 70% of Americans support the right for a person with a uterus to obtain an abortion. So what now? Well, each state within our country can determine their own abortion laws. What does that mean? 13 out of our 50 states have trigger laws, meaning that Roe v. Wade, which was overturned, was the only thing stopping these abortion restrictions or all-out bans from taking hold. Those 13 states are no longer a safe space for people who can get pregnant, as many of them have already declared these laws to be in place. On top of those 13, multiple other states have bills waiting in the wings that will restrict, if not all-out ban abortions. Take my state of Georgia as an example. In 2019, our governor signed into law a bill that would make abortions after 6 weeks illegal. Most women don't know they're pregnant before 6 weeks. I sure didn't. It was blocked only because of Roe v. Wade. On Saturday, it took my state all of 6 hours after the Supreme Court decision came down to appeal to our state courts to overturn the block and enact our heartbeat bill. 6 hours. We'd hoped for more time, but we didn't count on it. There'll be other conservative states that follow Georgia's example, and there are other states that have bans pre-Roe that technically still exist and should be enacted if the right laws aren't passed or from people who are in power after the next election. But that's okay, right? There are other things that we can do. There's access to contraceptives, the Plan B pill. Well, in that same court decision that stripped us of our bodily autonomy, our Supreme Court recommended that 3 additional rulings be reviewed and corrected for errors. One of those was a ruling that protects our right to obtain contraceptives without interference. The other 2, in case you were wondering, protect our right to engage in same-sex relationships and same-sex marriages. And so you see, this was only the first domino to fall. It starts with abortion, and now there's no telling where it will end. When you start allowing rights to be stripped away, they'll keep taking it from you. We fought so hard to keep abortion protections in place because we've given our very souls that it would not end with us. We are angry, we are scared, but we are not done fighting. For the last 2 years, I've attended rallies with a woman who was in attendance at the pro-abortion rallies over 49 years ago. With her now are 3 other generations of her family, all fighting for things she thought she was long done fighting for. She says she was jailed during the fight for abortion rights pre-Roe, and now in her 70s, she says she's prepared to be jailed again if that's what it takes. I've had the privilege in recent weeks of hearing from a woman from abortion in the 60s that abortions are scary, illegal and dangerous. She nearly died as she hemorrhaged in secret during her final exams in her first year of college. She lived and she went on to get married, had 2 beautiful children and a successful career alongside her husband, who was her boyfriend at the time of her abortion. These are a few of the stories I dwell on as I think about our nation's past and its future. I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for coming out today to support the right to choose. I believe that all people with a uterus should alone hold the power to make any decision about their bodies and their family structure and planning. It's my understanding that the UK is having similar changes proposed by the right wings of your government. Please listen to me. You need to fight like hell to protect the rights already reserved for you under current law. Once they're gone, it will be incredibly difficult to get back. But once they're gone, you better believe they will not stop there. If we do not have autonomy and ownership over our own bodies, we'll have nothing at all. Make it clear, we will not go back. Keep up the fight. Your pro-choice sister in America is with you today and always. I'm looking for the bell because I'm going to do some poetry for us while I go and have a bit of a cry.
today to speak. One of the things that I wanted to touch on is just the way that our bodies have been policed for centuries. In the 19th century, there was an American man that was named the father of modern gynecology, which in itself, he built himself to that status off the back of using enslaved African women to experiment on. Obviously, he felt he was ethical because he had asked their owners, and the owners had given permission, and he even wrote that some of the enslaved women would help him during his surgeries. This is how much they wanted to contribute. So I feel as though the policing of our bodies the fight has never really stopped. And so this poem, one of the first poems, encapsulates some of my thoughts along that time. I am struggling to summarize the depths of my inner rage. As beautiful as it is to see community unifying in this place, it is a disgrace that we have to at all. People forced to speak on trauma to build the case on which we stand to be heard. Called to prove our worth time and time again. A group of rich old white men decide our fate. A simple ink scribble condemns women to untold complexity. A business transaction. We are unleashed to ourselves. Our job is to maintain this machine and contribute to society. The fine print reads that we do not have autonomy over our bodies at any time our rights can be signed away. Were we even ours in the first place? My body, my choice, I deserve to be safe. My body, my choice, it was never a debate. Thank you. So I speak of institutionally the way we've been policed, but also societally through expectations and body shaming and that culture of being the perfect person in order to be submissive. As women, we are taught to kind of submit and not to be strong, etc. And so the next poem I've got is called Undisputed Oath. Your entitlement is not welcome here. When I say that my body is my body, I do not need to justify and I do not invite debate. You aren't more appealing now that perceived rejection is making you irate. They may have told you that no means no until it means yes. To repackage an uncomfortable woman as playing hard to get. But this is not my duty. I am not defined by your desire to admire. I am a force to be reckoned with. So take my smoke as a warning sign or feel the full wrath of this fire. Thank you. So lastly, I just wanted to speak on one of the atrocities I see, which is the sexualization of young children for capitalistic gain. I think that we don't actually educate children about sexuality and about the power that they have. We kind of skirt around the topic and allow them to put themselves in situations in which they find themselves vulnerable and now create laws to shame us into feeling like we are the responsible for that. And so, to anyone in the crowd or further afield, I just want to remind you of your power, of your beauty, and to invite you to free yourself from the shame that society tries to put on you. So this is called Reminder. You are a lighthouse, sending beams of safety and security to those sailing into the unknown. But you can be blinded by your own race. Monotonous days, too drained to face your own voice. Depleted courage because you are everyone else's people. Even when you can't see them, you light the way. Keep them safe while wondering whether you'll be okay. Sometimes, things have to learn to and after a joke, you are left feeling like a joke. Painting the outside. Please believe me when I tell you that the real you shines through regardless of what you can or cannot do. Because what is understood never needed to be explained. And real eyes will realize when you are in pain, even if it isn't written on your face. It's known as depression, but it's really suppression. Trying to condense pure intentions into heartless profession. You are made of more than this corrupt world has to offer. And you aren't concerned with selling souls to prosper, so you suffer, being smothered by systematic dream crushes. They call it depression, but no, that isn't you. You just can't be contained in a box. Tired of trying to break the locks, so you rest, assess, study this madness, and then you come and shine your light in the way that you feel is best, because you, my friend, are blessed. My name is Rebel Sade. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Rebel. I'm not keen on this weather. I think this is misogyny in action, personally. Hopefully it will pass quickly. I want to introduce June now. June is the chair of the board at Nottingham Women's Centre, who I'm sure they see, we see, I work there too. And see lots of women that are struggling with issues around bodily autonomy and reproductive rights. But I'm not going to do these things for them.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I'm not going to repeat many of the things that you've already heard, and probably not less eloquently than Rebecca put them in her poetry. My name is Julie, talking on behalf of Nottingham Women's Centre. Nottingham Women's Centre was established in 1971, the year after the first National Women's Liberation Conference, and it champions demands for free access to contraception and abortion, amongst many other things. So I think I'm echoing what I've seen on many of the banners. When you take away reproductive rights, you take away human rights. So here in Nottingham today, we stand in solidarity with our American friends, and we're here to show our support for everyone fighting for their right to bodily autonomy across the globe. So not just in support of our American friends. So we at the Nottingham Women's Centre, we've established as a space for women to demand equality, including campaigning around safe access to abortion in Nottingham. And we shouldn't still be fighting this 50 years on. In fact, this progress is being eroded, and decades later, it's still an attack on human rights, and one that will have repercussions all around the world. And I know that there is a demo for human rights taking place here on July 16th at 11 o'clock, and I encourage everybody to attend that as well. So Roe v. Wade is happening a continent away, but what it has given us is this glimpse into how quickly our rights to our own bodies can be taken away from us. And we're fighting, as Rachel pointed out, battles much closer to home as well. We have access to free abortion in the UK, but it's still technically a criminal act that requires permission from two clinicians. And as she said, 2 years after abortion has been legalised in Northern Ireland, services are still almost non-existent there. So, to repeat what so many of us are saying publicly and privately, we cannot be complacent. Until everybody has the right to make decisions about their own bodies, we need to keep fighting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. And yeah, there is a demo on the human rights bill here in 2 weeks, 16th of July at 11 o'clock, right in this spot. And obviously, abortion is a human right, and there are lots of other things that are under attack as well. So it's really important that as many people as possible come to that one. Our next speaker is Aston Marriott from Nottingham Against Transphobia.